Hello, my name is Sarah and I'm a certified outings leader with the Sierra Club. September is Trails Month, so all throughout the month we'll be highlighting little known trails within Northeast Pennsylvania so that you can get out and enjoy the trails in a safe and socially distant manner. Today, we're at the Gravel Family Preserve in Monroe County in Canadensis. This is a piece of property that was preserved through the Monroe County's Open Space Initiative, and recently they added this lovely dog park as well to the preserve. So if you would like to have a place where you can safely run your dog and get them to interact with other animals, you can do so at this property. You can find the preserve on Gravel Road in Canadensis. It's right near the Spruce Lake Resort. The trail we're going to be doing today is roughly 3 miles round trip. It does get rather steep in spots. We will be climbing a mountain, so it will get steep in spots. We will be hiking up Mount Wismer, which can also be accessed from farther up on 447, where the Mount Wismer Preserve parking is. But if you wanted to make it a little bit of a longer hike, start from the Gravel Family Preserve and work your way up. As we are in the middle of a pandemic right now, please make sure to bring your mask with you wherever you go. I am the only one in this parking lot today, so I do not have my mask on, but if others were to appear, I would put it on. There is a porta potty at the trailhead. There's also a trash can at the trailhead, but otherwise there are no water facilities or anything like that once you get here. And cell phone service is spotty, so make sure you let others know where you're going before you leave. So as we are leaving the parking lot, you'll see a gate. Just go around the gate. They do have a separation for large dogs and small dogs in the dog run. So we'll be going parallel to the dog park for the first stretch of our hike. It will be going through a grassy field area before we get to any part of the trail that is marked. There are several blazed trails. Hey, Squirrely! There are several blazed trails along this stretch. Oh, that's a nice tennis ball. I'll have to come back for it. And we will be taking the yellow trail up and the red trail back down. The red trail is much, much steeper. So if you want to get a good workout, you can take that instead. Now, as we are approaching the end of the dog park, besides all of the wonderful goldenrod that we see, all of these bushes that are starting to get their fall colors in, they are all blueberry bushes. And this patch goes pretty far back. So in the late summer, in July and August, if you find yourself in need of some blueberries, come to the Gravel Family Preserve and pick your fill. I think I got maybe 3 or 4 blueberry pies this year, as well as a couple of buckets to freeze. There's definitely enough to go around. Our goldenrods and our asters, and then all those blueberries. It's also a great place to see bears if you're not careful. When hiking through the woods, make a little bit of noise and the bears will generally leave you alone. But if you happen to see one, just let it go on its merry way. It's their home. So we're going to be heading into the woods. We've just come out of the woods into an open meadow that has quite a bit of low bush blueberry. Again, that ruddy reddish color that we see all around us. Those are either low bush or high bush blueberries. It looks like there's some scat on the trail. Thanks for whoever left that behind. And if you were to continue off to the left up ahead, you'd find that wetland area, which is part of the middle branch of the Broadhead Creek. It's actually the headwaters of the middle branch of the Broadhead Creek. So it was very important that this parcel of land be preserved. If you'll notice, the grass is pretty high in the meadow. So again, late spring into summer, even a little bit now in the fall, make sure you have bug spray or long pants so that way you don't have to worry as much about ticks. Pennsylvania is the Lyme disease capital of the United States, and there are more documented cases of Lyme disease here than anywhere else. So take care of yourself while you are out and about. You'll notice that we're heading back into the woods again, where we will start our ascent up to the top of Mount Wismer. You can't really see it very well right now, but that area over there is where our wetlands are. As we walk along, you'll start to notice some of that typical Pennsylvania fall foliage starting to come out. The end of September is generally when our leaves start to change color. We're not quite at peak fall foliage yet, but in a few more weeks those colors will really be popping. That red tree we just saw was a maple. They tend to have that bright red-orange color to them. And that's all due to the sugars in the trees, amongst other things. So here is the red trail. It is deceptively flat right here, but then it goes straight up the mountain. So we will be taking the yellow trail to start out with. In the spring, this area gets very wet, very boggy. There is a wetland off to the left there that we'll be seeing shortly. And where the red trail branches off behind us, there are generally a few vernal pools in the spring where you can find amphibians and their egg masses. So it's really cool to see those. You also get a lot of mosquitoes. So if you are hiking here in the spring or summer, please make sure to bring bug spray with you if you don't want to give the insects a snack. So here we start our ascent up the mountain. If you were to continue straight on the white trail, it would take you to an out and back trail through the wetlands, which is really cool to do in the spring when you have all of the spring ephemerals blooming, and actually right around now when you have the migratory birds coming through. So up we go, following the yellow all the way up. So after getting up the first part of the ascent, we start to get into this really cool rock scramble section. We will not be climbing the rocks. We'll be walking next to them. But there's some pretty big sections of the mountainside exposed for us to see. Good glaciers. I mean, check out some of these cool rocks. As we get closer to the top, our rock formations just keep getting bigger and bigger. All right, we've made it to another trail junction. There is no signage, no blazes at this point. But if you continue up to the left, that will take you to the Mount Wismer parking lot that I was talking about earlier. We will be going to the right. Eventually, you'll start seeing blue blazes as we walk along the top of the mountain to get to the summit, where there are some wicked cool views, as the top of Mount Wismer is a bald mountain. So you get views from all around. There's one of those blue blazes. As we're hiking along the relatively flat blue trail at the top of the mountain, you'll notice the red trail coming off, which is the way we're going to take back down again. And it looks like it pretty much just falls straight off the mountain, because it does. It goes straight down. If you have bad knees or don't like climbing down steep trails, I would suggest taking the blue back to the yellow the way that we came to get back down. You can see the top of the mountain from where we're standing, so we're almost there. As we're walking up, we can get little peeks of the view through the trees, and we see there's a lot more of that low bush blueberry starting to change to its fiery fall glow. Not winter, fall. Here we go. We're getting to the summit now. Not sure if you can see him. There's a little vole hanging out in the grass right here. Hoping to find some bugs. Let's see. There he goes. Go, little dude, go. So this is our first overlook. It's not really the first overlook, it's just the first real nice view that we have. It's so early in the day, so the fog is still hanging around the mountains. You can see the Delaware Water Gap in the distance on a really nice clear day. And then once I get to the next spot, you should be able to see Camelback off to the right hand side. Best view in Canadensis. Look at this. You can even continue along the mountain a little bit more to look down around the other side of the mountain. But this is the good shot right here. Now I'm gonna turn around. What did I say last week about cairns? Don't do it, people. There's a nice little place to sit and enjoy the view. There's also a fire ring up here, but fires are not allowed in the preserve. And look at all this scrubby grass. Look at this. Why would you set a fire up here? That's just asking for trouble. So from this point, we'll be heading back down the mountain again, taking the red trail back to the parking lot. The red trail is steeper, but it is also shorter, so it shouldn't take you very much time to get from the top back to the bottom again. Let's go. I love these little pops of color that we get along the trail. Look at that. That maple's like, wha-bam! And here we go, down the red trail. Like I said, it's pretty steep. Look at the sunshine peeking through these pretty yellow birch trees. If you ever want a quick sugar snack while you're walking through the woods and you see these guys, the nice yellow-leaved birch trees, these are all pretty young black birches, which is what they used to make birch beer out of. And you can actually still make birch beer out of them. It's quite tasty. And you often find these growing up in disturbed areas. So if you notice, the canopy is pretty open here. All these little babies have popped up in the last 2 or 3 years probably. Some of the bigger ones have taken a little longer to grow, but these are all relatively brand new. Be careful walking along this section of the trail. You've got some rocks, but you have to maneuver. A lot of the rock that we're hiking past is this Pennsylvania bluestone, the shale. There's a lot of it in Pennsylvania. But occasionally you'll see a nice conglomerate like this where you have a bunch of different types of rocks that are all smooshed together. It stays pretty rocky for a good chunk of the descent, so make sure you have good shoes when you're hiking. And we've made it down off the mountain. See all this hay-scented fern, all these hemlock trees. We just walked through some pine trees back there, leaving some nice cover on the ground. Hello, little baby hemlock. You can tell by the tiny little needles. Hey, buddy. Up ahead, there is a ridiculous woodpecker tree that is no longer living, but still very cool. I wouldn't be able to live with all of those holes in me either. See, there's the top of the tree right there. Now these are from a pileated woodpecker, our largest woodpecker species in Pennsylvania. They leave those big, massive holes looking for insects. And sometimes the holes are so big that other species will actually move in and use them for nesting. Heard a pileated a little while ago. They're that woody woodpecker that you see. And here we are, back where we started on our trail. Today we took the yellow trail up to the top of Mount Wismer where it intersected the blue trail along the ridgeline. And then we took the red trail back down for a roughly 3-mile hike, starting at the Gravel Family Preserve on Gravel Road in Canadensis. If you have any questions about other properties preserved by Monroe County Open Space, you can reach out to the Monroe County Planning Department or your local land trust, which for Monroe County is Pocono Heritage Land Trust. And if you are in Wayne and Pike County, your primary land trust is Delaware Highlands Conservancy. That'll do it for me today. I'm heading back to the parking lot. Get out and hike.